Good day, everyone. I'm about to give you a 4,000 mile review on my Harley Iron 883. I'm just gonna go to this little lookout spot over here and talk about it, where it's nice and peaceful. And I'll do a little walk around on my bike. And yeah, just give you a nice little review of how this bike has been running and everything. 4,000 miles. I've actually gone over 4,000 miles. It's about 4,500, but it's a good time to do this review. So here we go. Woo! All right. Let me just park it right here. All right, so I switched over to my iPhone to film this part here, make it a little bit easier. It's kind of hot outside, so I don't want to wear my helmet and film it. So I want to show you right now how many miles I have. Right over here, look at that odometer right there, 4,600 miles on it. And I've had this bike for roughly 10 months now. I bought it in August of 2021. It is a Harley Sportster Iron 883 2021. I bought it brand new and only had about like 10 miles on it or so. So this should give you a pretty good review on how it's been running, how it's been handling any issues for over 4,000 miles now. I had my 1K service a while ago. It's recommended for new bikes. When you buy it, you ride it up to 1,000 miles and then they do the service on it. So yeah, I brought it to Laidlaw's Harley to do my service, but everything else I did on my own, every upgrade, all that. I only did the 1K service through them to see how it was like, but everything else I've done on my own. All the upgrades, I have a stage 1 upgrade. I'll leave a list of all my upgrades in my description if you want to check it out to see everything I've done to it, but I'll briefly go over how this has been riding. So I've had no issues with this bike. Well, all right. When I first bought it, I put in a new clutch lever here, right? It was an easy pull clutch lever by one finger. And I feel like it was the wrong lever or something was wrong with it. And after only riding for like a month, my clutch cable broke. I have a video on it. I talked about that. The clutch cable broke and I feel like it was the lever. Maybe I installed it wrong, but I contacted them. They sent me a whole new lever. I installed that lever. I rode it for months. Nothing happened. I did go back to the stock lever here. If you notice right here, I'm gonna talk about the stock lever too when you first buy the bike. But yeah, that did happen. My clutch cable broke. And then after it broke, I replaced my whole clutch discs in here. The clutch plates. I put in performance clutch plates and I did all myself. So I did everything myself. If you notice here, all the cable relocations, you know, the tank lift, everything stage 1. So yeah, I rode this, like if you watch my other video where I went on a greenhorn ride, it was a 2-day ride. I rode it for like, man, the whole ride, over 1,000 miles. It was a 2-day ride and no issues with the bike. It ran perfectly. No issues with startup, no hiccups riding, no overheating, none of that. So a lot of you guys are worried about overheating and stuff. No. And this was during like hot weather and all that too. And so yeah, you can watch the whole video on that. I had no issues with the bike. I never dropped the bike. Well, I laid it down, you know, like standing still, but I've never crashed it or anything like that. And I'll talk about that too, like bike balancing, how you should get used to it, build up your muscles. But you know, going back to any issues with the bike, when I first bought the bike, I did have some oil spilling out from this little nut right here. And that was the fault of the dealership there. They didn't tighten things down. So I brought it back to them right away. The very next day, they changed out the gasket. They fixed it all. No oil leaks ever after that. And I will say this, know how to tune up your bike on your own. Know how to tighten things up and all that, because after bringing it back from the service, they did leave this loose here. And they had my, my exhaust nuts in there. It was loose too. And I felt like they should have tightened all that up, but they didn't. And luckily I know how to torque things down. I bought a torque wrench and I tightened up all my stuff. So every ride I pretty much tighten up my exhaust bolts in there. And these little bolts here too. Only that one over there was loose. I tightened it down really good and it never came loose again. That thing was like sticking out. It came all the way out. I want to say that every time you bring it to a service, don't think that they did everything to it. Always overlook your bike after and just tighten things down again. They might forget something, you know, people are human, they're gonna forget. So that is my advice right there. I know how to work on my own bike. I like knowing about it in case I have any issues, and I can just fix it. And that's what I did when the clutch cable broke. I fixed it all myself, and I adjusted it myself and all that. And I feel like I know my bike. I tuned it, and it's been riding good. 4,600 miles there. Over here, okay, so over here, after my big greenhorn ride, right? The 2-day ride and all that, and you know, it's like 4,500 miles and all that. I washed down my bike. I took this air filter out, right? This is the Arlen Ness big sucker. And I do recommend cleaning this out once in a while. I don't know, every couple months, because I did take this out, and I'll show you. I have this little air blower. When I wash my bike, I'll blow all the water off of it. I used it to blow all the dust and whatever inside here out on this filter here, and I feel like it helped a lot. It took a lot of stuff out. And then on top of that, I went inside here to the throttle body, right? Like you can see the butterfly and all that. I wiped it all down. It was pretty dirty, and yeah, like after 4,000 miles, it's gonna be dirty in there. So, and you know, I keep my stuff maintained. I wipe a lot of my pipes down with 70% alcohol, and I just do normal adjustments. I don't touch this belt here. That was serviced by Harley, 1K service and all that. But you know, I adjust my shocks. I put in progressive 412s, and I just did everything to this. I put in my own tuner, the FP3 tuner, and yeah, like this windshield here. Install a windshield. I really recommend a windshield. I was testing it on and off multiple times for a long time now, and you know, having it for 10 months here, I think I know pretty well that windshields help. It really helps in the freeway when you're riding really fast. I ride this bike pretty fast. I've taken it to its max. I think I've hit like 114, and you know, I don't really recommend for anyone. I was just really trying to max this thing out, see what it can do. And I ride with a lot of sport bike people where they ride really fast, so you know, I just try to keep up, and I just love the power on it. Just put it to its full max. And how you do that is just pull this throttle all the way. Yeah, but I did have a little bit of speed wobble. If you guys watched my other video too, I showed my speed wobble, and you won't normally get a speed wobble. It's only because I was going over 100 miles, and it was very strong winds that day. You know, we have these Santa Ana winds, they call it. I was over in Orange County, and it was just very strong, so I had those little bit speed wobble, but it wasn't anything crazy. I controlled it, I handled it, I wasn't scared or anything. It was just a little bit of wobble, so that was fine. I love my bobber seat here. It keeps me closer up front, where the mid controls are very good, where my legs are just angled like very nicely. I am 5'8", you know, like I can be as tall as 5'9" sometimes. And I feel like the Sportster frame here is perfect for me. I just love the Sportster, how slim it is. I can lane split very well. I'm not scared of lane splitting with how slim this Sportster frame is. And so that's why I also love the Sportster frame, Sportster bikes. I've rode the Lowrider S, I rode the Street Bob. I feel like if you're under 5'10", it just makes you look too small on those bikes, and I just don't like that style. So I do love the Sportster frame more. It just fits my height, and I look good on it. I can like handle it better. I can lane split. It just feels a lot better for me. It looks good. And what else can I talk about this bike here? I put in 91 fuel. I always use 91, is recommended for that. And what I do is I put it in, I fuel all the way up until it stops. Then I just top it off until it's just all the way up, level up there. So I fuel it up to its max, and no issues, you know, no overflowing issues, all that. And it's been fine. Okay, so going back to this clutch lever right here, right? A lot of you guys will, when you buy your first bike, you're gonna be very weak, and because this lever is just tough to pull. So after riding for 10 months, I build up my strength very well, and I'll work out too. But I feel like it's easy now. I just remember when I first bought this, it was just hurting my hand, and I did remember my hand was like cramping up a bit for the first week or so. But now it's just so easy for me. So I feel like that's a good thing. You should just use the stock for a while, build up your muscles, and I'm fine with it now. Like I wasted money on that easy pull clutch because that thing cost a lot. It's like $100 or something like that. And then look, I just went back to the stock. And I also did go back to the stock because I'm planning on selling this bike, so I just put it back on the stock lever there. Otherwise, I would use my easy pull lever. But I feel like anything easy, it's not making you better, right? Don't do that. Like my bike here, when I first bought it, I was pushing it up and down my driveway to build up my muscles, to build up the memory, to build up my strength on how to balance it. And I feel like everyone should do that. Build up your strength on how to balance this bike. Otherwise, you're gonna tip it over. And I have tipped it over. I've laid it down on my driveway, laid it down on different like angles. And what really helps is that I bought this right here. If you have like little end bars here, right, it'll catch when it falls down. It hits that, and then it hits this right here. And so it never even scraped up like my engine, my sides, or anything like that. It's just, it catches onto that when you lay it down. And I've only laid it down to like the left side. So yeah, I feel like it's fine when you lay it down. You just get these good grips with these little end, I forget what it's called, but these end bars here. And it just catches on this, and it stops it from scraping up your whole bike, you know. It did chip a little bit around here, but it's very minor. See, like right here, it's just very minor, and it doesn't bother me because this is stock anyways. If I had on my easy pull lever, it's a shorty lever, so it's there, and it wouldn't even scratched up my lever if I had that on. And yeah, what else about this bike? I love having the little swing arm bag. I carry a lot of stuff all the time, and that's very good. I wipe down my brake disc all the time with alcohol. Same thing, I clean it up. I will oil up my cables here, right here. Because after it broke on me one time, then I started spraying down the lubrication and even putting some grease in there to just keep it lubed. I do want to say, after riding this for a while and doing this whole, you know, cable relocation ignition lock thing, a lot of people are wondering, is it going to mess up like your keys and stuff with it vibrating? I do notice that my key is getting stuck a little bit. I just got to wiggle like that, a little bit like that, and it comes out. And even over here on the lock part of the bike, when I lock it up, I do notice when I lock it up like that, I have to just wiggle a little bit to get my key out. And at first it was very smooth. You just turn it, take it out. It's not a big issue. I just wiggle a little bit, the key comes out. But maybe that's from the vibration, because this engine vibrates a lot. It vibrates the whole bike. But I haven't had any issue with this, having this ignition right here next to the engine with it vibrating anything. You know, the bike's never turned off on me. The key goes in really nicely. It turns off. Everything is nicely. So no issues with that. Okay, I think that's it for my review on this 4,000 mile review video. There's nothing else. I'm gonna go and get some coffee right now, and I'll let you hear the bike start up. See, starts right up. Anyways, if you guys have any other questions, you can leave it in the comments. Maybe I'll get back to you guys. But yeah, it rides good. Look at that power. Woo! Riding good, baby. Woo! So if you want to stay tuned right now, I just have some random videos where I was riding around with Joseph and stuff. And I guess I'll just show you those videos, because there is nothing else. See you guys later. Perfect timing.
I know, I can hear you guys pass me.
Woo! Made it.
Woo!
Yeah. Just in time.
The three best friends that anyone can have.
It's the three best friends that anyone can have. It's the three best friends.
Oh.
All right. And he's too busy looking there.
What the?
Oh, it's up there. It's up there.
All right. You got it.
You got it.
Touch it.
Peace. like that.
No, touch it.
There you go. Oh, here we go. Feels good. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. This side of you. Is that your good side?
Is that my good side?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, chillin'. Yeah, buddy. Woo! Woo! That shit. Oh, what was that? I can't hear you. I can't hear Push it downhill.
Oh, shit.
Push it.
Do it downhill.
Woo! Hell yeah.
Get him.
Get it.
Ooh, Joseph getting fancy.
Yeah. You guys are fucking awesome. There you go. Hey, buddy.
Hi.
Hi. How you doing? Hi. How's it going? Hi. Ooh. There we go.
Get out of the way, Albert.
Nah.
Albert's Tesla.
Oh yeah. Pop that shit. It's right here.
Okay, Joseph.
Oh, there we go. Look at that shit. Woo, smooth. What you going for? What you going for? So good. Your first shot.
Let's see. What are we doing? Nothing.
Oh, there you go. Nice. Good combo.
The one's here.
I know. Trick shot.
All right. It's gonna go like that.
Hey. Pretty close, pretty close.
Really?
Really?
Oh no.
Missed it completely.
Just quick.
Clickety click. You
I'll
done?
bestow this honor upon you.
Thank you. I will take it over. Letting this guy head out. There you go. You gotta make this. It's over. Game over. Yeah, winner! There he is. All right, people. Everyone took off. We're all heading back home. Short ride. Went to a brewery. Went to pool hall. Played a little bit. Had fun, and now it is over. I'm heading back. Hope you guys enjoyed this short little video. And I'll see you in the next one, whenever that one is. Out of my way, coming through.